Senate will come to order. The senators will please take their seats. Those persons not entitled to the privilege of the floor will please retire to the gallery. The senators and all in attendance will please stand and be led in prayer by the Reverend Mark Morrow, Crosswalk Church, Williamsburg, Virginia. Following the prayer, all will please remain standing and be led in the Pledge of Allegiance to the United States of America by Senate Page Talia Ellsworth from Hampton, Virginia.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's pray. Blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe. We invoke your divine, manifest presence to be evident to all who are gathered here in this chamber today. Sovereignly preside over this legislative session. I offer sincere gratitude for each honorable member of the Senate, their dedicated staff, these skilled officials, and these young, bright pages. Bless them so that they can all be a blessing to others. God who enlightens, please grant us supernatural wisdom as we deliberate the various issues that face our Commonwealth and as we must make some tough decisions. Let justice be balanced with compassion, for these are the foundational pillars of our government. Help us to lovingly understand the perspective of others and carefully consider all points of view. May we be innovative as we search for creative win-win solutions. And we humbly ask for unity as we arrive at our conclusions. The whole of this esteemed body collectively is far more powerful than the sum of our individuality. Now let a spirit of camaraderie prevail in this room as we work together toward a shared mission, the prosperity of the citizens of Virginia. With the blessings of God, most merciful and beneficent. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk will call the roll. All those in attendance will please record their vote aye.
You have a quorum, Mr. President.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The senator from James City County, Senator Norman.
Good morning, Mr. President. How are you today?
Morning, Senator. Doing well. How are you doing?
You're looking splendid, sir.
As are you. Thank you.
Mr. President, consistent with the rules of the Senate, I would respectfully move to suspend the rules of the Senate and allow our senator affected by COVID to participate remotely and electronically for the day, sir.
Thank the senator. Question is, shall the rules be suspended to permit a senator impacted by COVID to participate remotely? All in favor of suspending the rules will record their vote aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Do any senator desire to change their vote? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 38, noes 0.
Ayes 38, noes 0. The rules are suspended to permit a senator impacted by COVID to participate remotely. Senator from James City County, Senator Norman.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would respectfully request that the journal reflect a leave of absence for Senator Peake, who is unable to be with us here today as a result of pressing personal business, sir.
Thank you, Senator. The journal will so reflect.
Senate Journal for Thursday, January 13th, 2022.
Senator from Hampton, Senator Locke, moves that the reading of the journal be waived. All in favor of waiving the reading of the journal will record their vote aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Do any senator desire to change their vote?
Senator Peake, how do you vote? Aye. Thank you.
Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 37, noes 2.
Ayes 37, noes 2. The reading of the journal is waived. The clerk will report any communication from the House of Delegates.
I do not have any, sir.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The clerk will report any communication from His Excellency the Governor.
I do have a communication from the Governor. To Madam Clerk and the staff of the Senate of Virginia, you are the best in the business, and I will be forever grateful for your service. To the Senate of Virginia, I served alongside many of you in this chamber and will always value our friendships in this institution. And because I will not be here on Valentine's Day, to Senator Stanley, you will always occupy a special place in my heart. Stay safe and well, and good luck this session. Ralph S. Northern, Governor, Commonwealth of Virginia.
For what purpose does the senior senator from Chesapeake, Senator Cosgrove, rise?
Rise for a request, Mr. President.
Senators, the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd ask the journal reflect that the senator from Henrico, Senator Donovan, is away on pressing personal business.
Thank the senator. The journal will so reflect. Now comes the time in the morning hour. We have the honor and privilege of recognizing our special guests who have joined us here in the Senate gallery. I would remind everyone that the way that this will proceed is that a senator will stand up, recognize an individual or a group. I will then offer the warm welcome of the Senate, and at the very end, we will all applaud together. Begin by recognizing the senator from Williamsburg, Senator Mason.
I thank you, Mr. President. I'm a little unclear why I'm being called upon, sir. I actually would like to steal the introduction of our outstanding pastor from the gentleman from James City County, but I might get in trouble, sir. So
we don't want that. So we'll go to the senator from James City County, Senator Norman.
Thank you very much, and I want to admire the legislative maturity of the senator from Williamsburg. Mr. President, I would appreciate if on behalf of the entire Senate you would extend a very warm and sincere welcome to the Reverend Mark Morrow, who delivered the invocation this morning. Mark has been a friend for many, many years, and actually each year he prays for me, and Lord knows he could spend 60 days up here reinforcing that, but he's a very dear friend. He is an inspirational faith leader in our community, but also he is very engaged in our community on many, many levels. And one of the things that I have always admired about him is that he can deliver a succinct but a powerful message that is faith-based, and he is an extraordinary faith leader, but he's also an extraordinary individual in our Williamsburg, James City County community. So if you would extend a warm welcome to the Reverend Mark Morrow of the Crosswalk Church.
Thank the senator. Will the Reverend Mark Morrow please rise in the gallery? Reverend, thank you so much for joining us here today for that very beautiful prayer. We echo the eloquent and generous words of the senator from James City County about your leadership in Williamsburg and throughout the Commonwealth and all that you do in our communities. It's always a privilege and a pleasure to have you here, and we are grateful for you and for your family as well. So I would ask everyone to please join me in extending the warmest welcome of the Senate to our friend, the Reverend Mark Morrow. Do any other senators wish to be recognized? Is there any other business to come in the morning hour? Resolutions, petitions, and bills are now in order. Seeing none, we will move to the calendar.
Senate calendar for Friday, January the 14th, 2022. As a reminder, all requests for drafts, redrafts, and corrections to DLS must be in by 5 o'clock today. Uncontested calendar, Senate bills on first reading.
Senator from Fairfax, Senator Sasslaw.
Mr. President, I move that all Senate bills on first reading on the uncontested and regular calendar, that's pages 2 through 14, it's pages 2 through 14, and then Senate bills through 232, that the rules be suspended and the first constitutional reading of the titles be dispensed with.
Thank the Senator. The question is, shall the rules be suspended and the first reading of the titles of Senate bills on the uncontested and regular calendars, page 2, Senate Bill 14 through Senate Bill 232, be dispensed with? All in favor of the motion will record their vote aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Do any senators desire to change their vote?
Senator Peake, how do you vote?
Peake votes aye. Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 38, noes 1.
Ayes 38, noes 1. The reading of the titles is dispensed with. Senior Senator from Fairfax, Senator Sasslaw.
Mr. President, I now move that those said bills go by for the day.
Thank the Senator. The question is, shall the Senate bills on the uncontested and regular calendars now on second reading go by for the day? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The bills will go by for the day. Senior Senator from Fairfax, Senator Sasslaw.
Mr. President, I inquire the clerk, does that complete our calendar?
We have 2 supplemental calendars we're running off.
Okay. Only 2?
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Is there any other business to come before the Senate? Seeing none, the Senior Senator from Fairfax, Senator Sasslaw.
Just rise on a point of personal privilege.
Senator's the floor.
Mr. President, I wanted to thank you from the bottom of my heart for the service over the last 4 years. You've done an outstanding job presiding over the Senate, and I know that the last 4 years have not been a walk in the park for you. And obviously, there's been some bumps. We all get them from time to time throughout our career, but you've handled it with dignity and grace. And I can't, thank you enough for that. And I want to wish you nothing but the best and the best of luck in the future. You've earned it.
Thank you very much, Senator. I appreciate you very much. Senator from James City County, Senator Norman.
Thank you, Mr. President. To rise on the point of personal privilege, consistent with what the Senator just shared.
Senator's the floor.
I think that Senator Sasslaw captured it very succinctly, and I compliment him on that. But I just want to you to know from a personal perspective that I have enjoyed the relationship that you and I have developed over the past 4 years, and even during those dark days where there were enormous pressures on you, that I admired your resilience. I admired your receptiveness to my encouragement and the respect that we extended to you. And I wish you the absolute best going forward. And I am confident that all 40 senators are appreciative of your service, and we actually look forward with anticipation to what the next chapter in your life is going to review. So thank you.
Thank the Senator very much. Thank you for your kind words. For what purpose does the Senator from Fairfax City, Senator Peterson, rise?
Thank you, Mr. President. Rise to speak on a point of personal privilege.
Senator has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ladies and gentlemen of the Senate. Mr. President, you might remember it was almost exactly a decade ago when I ran into you for the first time and asked you to participate as a young attorney in a conference I was having for young minority members in civic life, and particularly members of the bar. You were an assistant U.S. attorney, and you graciously attended that event in Richmond, and you've been there every time I've asked you to be. And you've been a constituent and a friend for a decade. I've admired the way you've handled this body, and I greatly appreciate it. And I just want to extend my congratulations and thank you.
Thank you so much, Senator. Appreciate you very much. What purpose does the Senator from Northern Fairfax, Senator Howe, rise?
I rise on a point of personal privilege.
Senator has the floor.
I also want to commend you for your service here. We have an unusual relationship because we look directly at each other almost through the whole session, and I've always just admired your goodwill and sensibility and wisdom in listening to our clerk. And I'm going to miss you. I'm sincerely going to miss you, and I want to thank you for all your service.
Thank you so much, Senator. Miss you as well. What purpose does the Senator from Western Fairfax, Senator Marsden, rise?
Thank you, Mr. President. Rise for a point of personal privilege.
Senator has the floor.
Mr. President, many people have been in your role over the 100 years of our Commonwealth. I don't think anybody's ever done the job better. Thank you.
Tremendously gracious. Thank you very much. Do any other senators wish to be recognized? For what purpose does the junior senator from Chesterfield, Senator Chase, rise?
Good morning, Mr. President.
Good morning, Senator.
I would like to rise for a point of personal privilege.
Senator has the floor.
I just wanted to personally thank you for your friendship, and I know we're on the other side of the aisle and everything, but you have been nothing but professional and handled yourself very well in spite of a lot of pressure. And I can't say it quite as articulately as a lot of my colleagues in here, but from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate what you've done in this body, so thank you.
Thank you so much, Senator. Appreciate you. What purpose does the senator from Franklin County, Senator Stanley, rise?
Good morning, Mr. President.
Morning, Senator.
Unfortunately, I'll be saying that for the last time today to you specifically, sir, but I rise for a point of personal privilege.
Senator has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the body. I think I would start with this. You have always treated this job that you have had as President of the Senate seriously, but at the same time with good spirit and good humor. You have put up with the jokes that we have thrown at you. Most of them were not funny, but you laughed anyways. And I want to make sure that the record reflects today that I am here to tell you that you were a heck of a lot more funnier than the guy that came before you, okay? That guy was not as funny. Even though he sends me Valentine wishes, you always displayed good humor. You know, you have to leave today in your last session here in the Senate, but you leave as our friend. And I know that everyone sitting over here joins me in saying not only a job well done, but also if we can ever be of assistance, if we can ever be there for you, if you ever need us, as your friends, we will always be there for you. And you always have a very special place in our hearts and in our minds as we embark on the next chapter of your life. So thank you. I also want to say your wife is a wonderful dentist. Her office was right next to my law office in Fairfax, and it was always busy. But I wish you good luck, counselor. And if there's ever an opportunity, come work at the Stanley Law Group. We'd love to have you. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you so much, Senator. Appreciate you very much. What purpose does the senator from Northern Chesapeake, Senator Spruill, rise?
Thank you, Mr. President. Point of personal privilege, please.
Senator has the floor.
Mr. President, I'm going to thank you for the way that you carry yourself as far as conducting this body. It's hard sometimes putting up with the other side, but I'm talking about this crazy side. So I just want to thank you because you held us together, held all of us together. So a job well done. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Senator. Appreciate it. What purpose is Senator from Roanoke City? Senator Edwards rise.
Mr. President, on a point of personal privilege.
Senator has the floor.
Mr. President, I want to thank you for your 4 years as serving as the Lieutenant Governor and the President of the Senate. You've conducted yourself extraordinarily well, with wisdom, with intelligence, with good humor, and I've enjoyed our friendship. I really appreciate the times you've come to Roanoke and visited my fair city and my community. And everybody respects you so very much, and your integrity is unyielding. And I just want to let you know how much I appreciate the friendship, and I hope we can become friends future and get to see each other in the future as often as possible. Come to the Big Lick anytime. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank the Senator. Take you up on that. I appreciate you very much. What purpose is Senator from Bedford? Senator Newman rise.
Mr. President, for a point of personal privilege.
Senator has the floor.
Mr. President, I too want to thank you for your service. I know the Senator from Portsmouth and I know that as President Pro Tem, you develop a unique relationship with the Lieutenant Governor, and there is collaboration, and you, sir, have performed that duty excellently, so thank you for that. The other is that technically, sir, I think you know, you've been extraordinary. There have been a couple that have been better than others, and you have been extraordinary, and also for calling balls and strikes. So I think that's the responsibility and the obligation to the chamber. Is ideologically we can disagree, and you will vote on breaking ties as you want. But when it comes to the rules, calling balls and strikes is, to me, the most probably important item. Mr. President, also, I know that Senator Colgan taught me a lot of things, and I love Senator Colgan. And but the thing that I remember from him is he would talk to me about how he would be remembered. And he's remembered as a man who was of integrity, but also a kind person. And, Mr. President, I know my faith and your faith teach you that we are to love God and love people, and that means our communication with each other. And you have exemplified that. I think you love God and you love people, and just been great to work with you, sir. Thank you.
Very honored. Thank you so much, Senator. It's been an honor to work with you. For what purpose is Senator from Arlington? Senator Favola rise.
On a point of personal privilege, Mr.
Senator
President.
has the floor.
Thank you. I, too, want to join the many voices who are thanking you for your service. I do want to say that one of the most important criteria in presiding over the Senate is to actually establish a sense of fairness, objectivity, and civil decorum. And you have handled yourself in a way where I think those principles have permeated the body, and I've learned a lot from you, and I thank you for your judicious behavior, your personality, and yes, your humor. You actually added some light moments when we needed them. So I wish you the very best, and Godspeed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Senator. Very kind. Do any other senators wish to be recognized? What purpose is Senator from Hampton? Senator Locke rise.
Thank you, Mr. President. On a point of personal privilege.
Senator has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. I remember back in 2012, I was in Charlotte, North Carolina, at the Democratic National Convention. And in the convention center, I met this young upstart who came up to me and said that he was going to throw his hat in the ring and run for Attorney General. And I think I may have said, in what state? And he said, Virginia. I said, oh, really? And that young man was you. And that was my first encounter with having met you. And from that point on, I knew that you were a young person to be reckoned with, a young voice that we knew that I knew that I was going to hear a lot from. And it's been my delight to have gotten to know you, because you are certainly an individual, as many have said here this afternoon, a person of wisdom. Certainly an individual of extreme intelligence. But what has always struck me as you preside over this body is how you welcome guests to this body. And you always make people feel welcomed as you welcome people in the gallery. And they truly do feel you speak directly to the individual or you speak directly to that group and truly make them feel as though this is, their capital, that they are participating in democracy when they are here. And you can feel that genuine welcome as you give it to them. And I've always felt that that was truly captivating as you, welcome them here. And I want to thank you for your professionalism. Although at times it's been very difficult, but you have, weathered through it. And the manner in which you have led this chamber. It's been extraordinary. And again, I want to thank you for it. And on behalf of the 40 of us who sit here, we want to present you with something. We want him to come down. And we're tag teaming here. So President? If you could step down here for a second.
Yes, absolutely.
Mr. President, before you step down here, I'd like to also rise on a point of personal privilege.
Yes, Madam President.
Because I'd like to share my experience with you as well. As you know, Senator Locke and I have been known as the Bopsy twins, and oftentimes we travel together, and so I was with her when we were in Charlotte, North Carolina. But the thing that struck me most this morning was the fact that I got to know you so well before you got to be Lieutenant Governor. As a matter of fact, at times, I'm a little bit rambunctious, and when I'm in the newspaper, you would call me and tell me, okay, you did well this time, or you can pipe down a little bit this time. And I just want you to know that I appreciate your counsel, because even though I'm old enough to be your mother, you have also taught me some of the things that I needed to know about how to be a little bit more demure than my personality exhibits. And so, Mr. President, it has been a pleasure to be able to, like Senator Newman has said, to be able to be your backup when there were times when you needed to be off to do a few little personal things, because there's nothing you learn more about the colleagues in this chamber than being standing up there where you are. And so for that, Mr. President, I thank you for the opportunity, for the experience. I thank you for the relationship. I bid you Godspeed, and I know you are going to do well in the future. Just know that I love you, and if there's ever anything I can do for you, you know you can call on me. I have your phone number. If you don't call me, I will call you.
Okay. Go ahead, please.
So, Mr. President, on behalf of the members of this chamber, we are proud to present you with this check for your charity of your choice for $4,100.
Oh, wow. Thank you very much. Thank you all so much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And, Mr. President, we don't know what your next line of work is going to be, but we thought that you could always benefit from having something that's very familiar to you. And so with that, I'd like for you to open this gift.
Okay. Oh, wow. I can use this. Thank you so much. Awesome. Oh, that is so great. That is wonderful.
Okay, we're going to pose a picture now.
Oh, yes, please. You want me to hold on to this?
Yes. I want you to hold on to this.
Okay, here you go. Get in here, sir. Excellent.
Thank you
so much.
Madam Clerk.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Madam Clerk.
Thank you.
Now, Madam
Clerk. Here you go. Please.
So when Wingit Productions, otherwise known as the Senate Clerk's Office, faced the daunting task of moving to the Science Museum and working out all the bugs and all that we had there, we got out there, we thought we had covered everything, but there was one thing we had forgotten, but we easily took care of it. We didn't have a bell to open the vote. So on behalf of the Senate Clerk's Office, there's a long story to this. We would ring this bell, but unfortunately, Bill Scharr didn't show up with a tray of wine. So we're giving this to the Lieutenant Governor to remember an amazing session.
Yes.
And thank you for everything you've done. You've been wonderful to work with.
Thank you so much. It's been an honor.
Thank you.
Thank you. My dad wants to thank you too, by the way. Sorry, no, do you want to go back up? Or do you want to talk to me?
You just talk here.
Want to go back up? Okay.
Anything you want to do.
Okay. I'll go back up just so I can see you. Okay. Okay. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Oh, you want to do it now?
You've got to work for it. And these are hard to find.
I know. This is it. It says wine, please. So, if you all want to. Thank you so much. First of all, I'd like to thank you all for this very generous set of gifts for the contribution to charity, which is greatly appreciated, for the wonderful mementos that I will keep with me for the rest of my life, and for all the memories that you all have created here. It's been an extraordinary journey over 4 years, and really, I believe that each one of you, your members of your staff, your families, have made this such an enriching time for me and for my family, and such a wonderful experience. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for all that you have provided to us, your generosity of spirit, the time that you have invested in spending and getting to know us, for your work, your dedication, your commitment. It's been a source of inspiration for me and for so many other people. Also, I know that we've spent about an hour. You all have said such wonderful, generous, gracious, and positive things. And Senator Norman reminded me that pursuant to the rules of the Senate, we now have to give an hour for the opposite view. So if anybody wants to say something different than what's been said, we can have that time reserved. But I do want to sincerely say that I am grateful to each one of you individually as people first and foremost. That's what I got to experience most here, is that although you are each in your own right extraordinary public servants, 40 senators elected to represent extraordinary Virginians and to do the work of the Commonwealth, you're wonderful people. And I got to see that every single day. I got to see how dedicated you are to making the lives better of everyone that you come into contact with, that you elevate our Commonwealth, that no matter what the issue was or what a particular view might be or how intense a debate may get, at the end of the day, you reminded each other of your own humanity and you gave each other dignity. And I think that that's an example that not only is one that shines here in the Senate, and in Virginia, but it's really a lesson to the nation. And I thank each one of you for being so consistent in doing that. I also want to thank Madam Clerk, who is, I called her very early on and told her that not only is it a privilege to get to work with her, but that I felt like she represented everything that's really good about this institution, about this body. And she welcomed me with open arms from day one, although I had not previously served here in the Senate. And she has an extraordinary way of making sure that we all come together around the common mission of the Senate of Virginia. And she also has an extraordinary team with her who have really become family to me. And I want to thank this amazing group of individuals who every single time that I've needed them, they have been there for me. They've always been generous in every conceivable way. And they truly have made it a joy to come to work every single day. And that family also extends beyond just this dais. And I want to thank all of the wonderful and extraordinary people who you don't get to see oftentimes on the television who make this place what it is and who make it work. We have extraordinary people in our custodial department and who have kept us safe, frankly, through the midst of this pandemic. People who do our food service at Meriwether, our security team, the Capitol Police, who are just wonderful and extraordinary people who've gotten to know, our pages, their families, our staff who work with legislative services. There are so many unsung heroes who I hope today will get a chance to take a bow for who they are, for what they've done, and for all they contribute here to the Commonwealth of Virginia. And so it really has been the honor and the privilege and the joy of my life to get to serve with you as President of the Senate in this role, in this extraordinary and august body. I want to thank you all and wish you nothing but the best in your lives, in your careers, in your public service. And I want to express my gratitude because you make this place an extraordinary body to exemplify all the best values here in Virginia and in our nation. And so, Senator Norment, I want to particularly thank you. We have developed a tremendous friendship and relationship. And although people may expect that that would not have been the case, it certainly has become from your time when I first started to now. And I thank you for exemplifying that, even though we're often on different sides of any particular issue. We're never on the different side when it comes to treating people well. And Senator Saslaw, you and Senator Norment have done an extraordinary job leading this body. You have served here and served with distinction for many years, and you love this place more than anybody that I know. And that love is shown in your dedication and commitment. And I really could say something about each one of the 40 senators. I don't want to take your time and trespass upon it to do that, but I could say equally generous things about every single one of you because you truly are extraordinary people. And you are focused on making sure that everyone here in Virginia has a shot to rise to their God-given talents, to take care of their families, to really live the American dream. And you are to be commended for that work. So I know that this work will go on. I know that your love of Virginia will continue. And I know that Virginia is in very good hands because of each one of you, both on and off this camera. So thank you all so much. God bless you, and may God bless the Commonwealth of Virginia. Thank you all very much. clerk will report any announcements on the desk.
Tomorrow, Saturday, January 15th, the Senate will convene at 11 a.m. in the Senate chamber, 11 a.m. The inauguration will be at noon on the portico. Monday, January 17th, the Committee on the Judiciary will meet at 9 a.m., in Senate Room A, Pocahontas. The Committee on Local Government will meet at 9 a.m., Senate Room 3 in the Capitol. The Democratic Caucus will meet at 11:30 a.m., Senate Room 1 in the Capitol. The Republican Caucus will meet at 11:30 a.m. in Senate Room 2 in the Capitol. Weekend weather report. From Sunday morning through Monday morning, a heavy mixed precipitation is possible. Total snow accumulations of 5 to 10 inches and ice accumulations of around 1/10 of an inch possible. Travel could be very difficult to impossible, and 95 is right in the middle of it. Have a great weekend. Drive friendly.
Is there any? Stay safe. Is there any other business to come before the Senate? Do any other senators wish to be recognized? Seeing none, I call on Madam President, Senator from Portsmouth, Senator Lucas.
Mr. President, since this will be the last time that I'll get to say this to you, Mr. President, Mr. President, I move that the Senate do now adjourn until 11 a.m. tomorrow.
Thank the Senator. Question is, shall the Senate stand adjourned until 11 a.m. tomorrow? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The Senate stands adjourned until 11 a.m. tomorrow.